What it is, y'all? It is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Danmachi. Now, you guys have asked for this, and also a big shout out to everyone that came out to the stream tonight. You guys did help crowdsource this team, but everybody's been asking for a team that can beat the Bathwater Dragon, and quite frankly, don't get scared by the team I've built here, okay? Let me explain. Unfortunately, the units that I have, well, say unfortunately, fortunately for my box, but unfortunately for this video, the units that I have are all max limit broken, and most of them are fairly well ascended. What I want you to pay attention to throughout this video is how well Welf hangs on in this circumstance, because Welf is only +3. He has only +3 ascension, or 3 purple star ascension, so he's gonna kind of be our litmus test. And I will tell you from experience, we were actually able to beat this. Now, I'm going to tell you, yes, if you build a team even remotely close to this, you stand a chance. But you have to be very, very defensively minded. The big difference, the biggest difference between what we did early game and what the help we got on stream was this Hestia. Now, you notice my Hestia, she's not even max leveled up. I don't even have all my bonds in her. She's literally just level 60. Though, at level 60, she does strength and magic down 15% and increases allies' counter rate. Now, that 15% strength and magic deficit is going to be huge. If you have her max limit broken, absolutely use her. You will not regret a thing. Okay? Now, obviously, I've got Finn on this team. Finn is always on, like, every team. He's still my number 1. Like, if you didn't max limit break Finn, I don't know what to tell you, but he's, like, the best of the best. Then I've got Apollo on here. Now, Apollo does fire and light resistance down 10%. That fire resistance is going to help out drastically. He also has an ally effect, but that fire resistance is really what's going to be critical to this event. And you'll notice he's only +4. He's not max limit broken. You do want to run the best assists that you can, and the reason I say that is because you want the best stats possible on your unit. Hence why I put the maximum broken Finn on Welf. Now, to be frank, if I had a +4 on Welf, he would still survive, but it would be a lot more comfortable with a max limit broken assist. Not to say it's impossible without it, it would be more comfortable. To be fair, you might have a few failed attempts at this. Thankfully, it doesn't require any stamina. There's going to be a little RNG involved if your units aren't max limit broken. But if you have really good units, +3s, +4s, gonna say max limit breaks, then you'll do just fine with this team, or even a remotely similar team. Now, you will notice that Otarl is on here. Otarl doesn't need anything. Like, literally, you just need Otarl on first turn. Otarl is going to be our debuffer. Obviously, we've got OG Haruhime as well. She's really important for a number of reasons, which we'll get into shortly, as is Artie. Now, I know when we initially talked about the banner, I did tell you Artie's banner wasn't as good, but hopefully you got at least one of her. If she's +2, +3, I think she'll be fine, and I'll explain why when we get in there, but Artie is really, really critical to the survivability of this team. So hopefully you've got her. Hopefully she's at least +2. +3 would be a lot more comfortable, but hopefully she's in there. Now, if you're starting to have some issues with some of these units, they're +2, +3, and they're starting to die after, 3 or 4 attempts, maybe give them another star of ascension or consider doing something like that. But the long and the short is, if your intent is to beat this, you may have to do a couple of tricky little things. Now, on Artie, I'm actually going to be running the Hestia that does MP Restoration. Now, if you don't have the Hestia that does MP Restoration, or she's not max limit broken, that's fine. Run somebody that has MP Restoration, because you'll need it for Artie. You could probably, if you know how Artie works, you already know pretty much what we're going to be doing a lot of. And we'll talk about it when we do the run. But MP Restoration is going to be critical for Artie. Super critical. Now, Elise. My Elise is max limit broken. You don't need any bonds in Elise. Elise is going to come in turn 2. Basically, Otaro's going to leave turn 1. Elise is going to come in turn 2. Elise is going to do a big fire debuff, and then we're going to bring our biggest fire hitter. Now, I am debuffing magic. Magic is going to be my number 1 here. If physical is your number 1, then absolutely use whoever you can here. I'm using fire because I've got a good 40% fire debuffer. We all got a good 40% fire debuffer. If you don't have the fire riv, or you don't have the fire riv maximum broken, whoever you have that does your best single target special attack, that's who you want here. Your best unit possible. That means you could replace Elise with whoever your best debuffer is for that type. I am going to tell you fire is best if you have even Katori maximum broken. Katori would be great here. Don't get me wrong, Katori would be an awesome unit, but so many of my other units are magic. I'm going to focus on magic for this one. That said, Katori does have a skill that Artie has that we're going to use a lot. So there is something to be said for using Katori in this slot if you have her, if you were here for that crossover event. But I digress. Let's get back to Elise real quick, because on her, we actually have this more recent Aina. And once again, Aina's only level 60. I don't even have all my bonds in her. It's not important. Turn 2, she's gone. We're going to basically get rid of Otaro turn 1. We're going to get rid of Elise turn 2. These assists are going to come in here, do their effect, and then they're going to be gone. This is going to reduce critical and penetration rate. And this is really important, because the dragon will do penetration, and it will suck. Now, also, allies, damage received, attack all and single targets down 10%. So this is going to do a lot. You'll notice that we are very, very defensively oriented. Like, almost all defenses. Now, obviously, Finn is for SA gauge, and you're going to be wanting to do a lot of SA gauge. That's why I'm using that Wealth in the front. If you don't have Wealth, use one of the Lines, but SA gauge is going to be really, really important to your survivability. And once again, don't get too caught up on, I'm using these specific units. Basically understand the mechanics of how this works, and you can engineer a team that can do something similar. We could use Wealth, we could debuff water, use a water unit. We could use, Line. We could use light units here. You could use the units that we just got from the most recent banner, except, you obviously are going to want a light single target unit, but I digress. There are lots and lots and lots of options here. So, on this last unit for Riv, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the Hestia that does 20% magic, and that's just going to increase everybody's magic across the board. So let's go ahead and jump in here. I'm going to turn off auto battle for obvious reasons, and I'm going to show you the main things to pay attention to. Like I said, don't get too caught up on the units I'm using. Pay attention to the techniques. If you can't build a team even remotely like this, you'll be able to build something close. So in turn 1 with Wealth, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do our SA gauge charge. Wealth is really good here because he's also going to do magic, dex, and fire damage 30% for all allies. So he's doing big buffs to everybody, and that's going to be really good. If you have Wealth, he's the best unit for this. If you don't, Line is very good, and she does a few things that are going to help you out. But for the moment, I'm using Wealth, skill 1. Haruhime, I'm going to come out of the gate with Sheikah, skill 2. That's going to increase the counter rate and the penetration rate. Now, there's a very good reason I'm doing this, but pay more attention to the techniques that I'm doing more than just, honing in on specific items. So we're going to go ahead and increase penetration rate on this turn. Why am I doing that? Well, we need a debuff. I'm going to use Otaro for his debuff. Now, Annihilation Rift, we're going to do that. Remember, Haruhime is an AoE 40%. Otaro is 45% for both strength and magic, and that's single target. So he's a better fit for our debuffer in this raid. Now, finally, we're going to have Artie. And for Artie, I'm going to go ahead and do her heal. It's a physical and magic resistance down, so that we're going to get a little bit more damage out of there, plus penetration rate down as well. Remember that penetration rate debuff is really important. We're basically going to do that, and it's going to give us a decent heal. is really important to turn 1. Really important. Because he's going to hit hard for probably the first few turns. Now, the best thing to know about about the dragon, don't get too scared by the damage he's doing here. Because the damage that he does in the beginning is way more than what he's going to do by turn 5, 6, 7. The damage really falls off quickly. You really just need to basically survive turns 4 and 5. After that, you're golden. So, for the next one, I'm going to go ahead and do skill 2 for Wealth. That is going to reduce all in single target, or basically increase all in single target damage. It's plus, but it's basically a debuff on your foe, and that's going to be really important. So, skill 2 with Wealth. We're going to go do Yosuga with Haruhime. We're basically going to spam Yosuga as often as we can. Now, this did bring in Elise, and I'm going to do Elise skill 1, and that's going to give us that 40% debuff on fire damage on the dragon. Now, notice he's already down, I believe he was down 30% to fire, up 30% to earth. Once again, another reason why Otaro is not a very good choice for that. Down 30% to wind, down 30% water, up 30% for thunder, down 30%. You'll notice that there's a couple of assist skills in here. Down 30% for light and up 30% for dark. So, fire, water, wind, and light. If you don't have fire, you can use any one of those other 3 ailments. That is very important. And then just build your team accordingly. So in this case, I'm using fire, and I'm debuffing fire 40%. I believe that's the best. Maybe Earth has a 40% too. I think maybe the Yuri from last year's event. I'm trying to remember. But 40% fire. We just got this unit. A lot of people probably have this unit. And you don't need a lot of bonds in her. She's great, but we're not going to use her for her damage. We're going to use her for her debuff. So skill 2, skill 3, skill 1. And we're going to go and do skill 2 again with Artie. Okay? That's literally the same thing we did first turn. Alright? Now, I am using the swap anklets on both Otaro and Elise. So in the end of turn 2, she's gone. She's just going to take off. And in comes our main hitter. Now, Reveria, we're going to do some really specific stuff with her. Okay? So first things first with Wealth, I'm going to go skill 3. I'm going to keep doing skill 3 with Haruhime. With Riv, we could do skill 1, but it's going to overlap some of the debuffs we already have, and some of those aren't even as good as what we've got. So I'm going to skip skill 1. I'm going to go right to skill 2 for her big damage buff, and for Artie, we're going to go skill 3. Or, I'm sorry, skill 1. Skill 1 basically gives us a single death saving throw. We will not get killed by any major hit unless it hits twice. And this is why I say sometimes if you keep attempting this, turns 3 and 4, you might have some problems. Past that, it's not a big deal, but turns 3 and 4, there is a little tiny bit of RNG if your team is not as beastly as mine tends to be. So if you're not getting, try it a few times. If you're getting killed turn 3, turn 4, just give it another shot and consider maybe, like I said, adding just the teeniest bit of health with some Ascension, with maybe another bond or something like that. But Artie's death saving throw is going to be our saving grace. You need to have it in place on this turn, or you're going to hate life. It's going to suck. So, here we go. That's going to give us death saving throw. The other thing that does is that does physical resist and magic resist 30% and gives us 35% HP regen. This is really important. Turn 3 is the biggest one. This is the one you got to be really careful of. All right. So, pay close attention to Wealth. Wealth is in slot 1. The nice part is Artie and Haruhime both do counter heals, so they're going to help keep everyone alive. Now, this is probably going to feel really bad, and Wealth's the main one you want to pay attention to. Alright, Wealth took 4,500 damage. This is why I say that death saving throw is really, really critical I mean, you want to keep that in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do an essay with Haruhime. Now, essay with Haruhime is going to give us a big heal, and I'm going to continue doing skill 1 with, with Artie. Skill 1 is going to give us another death saving throw, and is going to put that defensive buff back on us. Now, I thought our buffs were removed, but I guess they weren't. That's fine. That's fine. I think maybe it's turn 4 he does it. I thought he removed the buffs, and I'm having a hard time remembering. We just did this on stream, and I can't remember. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and do my main hit with Riveria. So we're going to go skill 3, essay, skill 3, skill 1. Once again, the main reason we're doing that skill 1 is because Haruhime is going to do a big heal here, and then skill 1 is going to put that death saving throw back on us, just in case we take another really big hit. Like I said, we're basically turtling. We're just hanging on for these first few matches. Now, don't be ashamed of this tactic. This is going to get you far in an event like this. It's basically the only way we're going to be able to survive it. But it is a viable tactic. Plus, all right. There, okay. So we got a good amount of heal. I'm going to have to heal now by doing Yosuga with Haruhime and doing Energize with Artie. And this is why I say turns 4 and 5 are really, really, really critical. Now, Welf, I think, ran out of his death saving throws. He did. So we're going to have to rebuff that at some point, but for the time being, it's even more important to try to heal him up and to get him to survive these next couple turns. There's a good chance he might get killed here, and if that's the case, we just restart. Now, all of our buffs are still in play. I thought the dragon removed buffs. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But we're going to go ahead and do skill 3, skill 3, skill 3, and skill 2. Once again, pay close attention to the heals, and our goal is to keep Welf alive. Welf is kind of our litmus test for non-maximum broken units. Remember, he's +3. And that's what I'm talking about. That is a distinct possibility. That does tell me we probably needed to do Energize on that turn. So, no shame in that. No shame whatsoever. We're going to go back. We're going to try it again. Now, I'm going to speed through this a little bit faster. And, same team, same everything else. The only other thing I did mention that I didn't talk about on this when we were talking at the very beginning. The items that we're using on these units, there's no stamina cost, so I'm not worried about that. On Artie and everyone else, we're using dark coats. I built dark coats so that we would have the maximum amount of dark resistance built into everybody. So I built dark coats. Every single one of my dark coats has 20% dark resistance. That is going to help you out. Now, it might be okay to use breastplates, but I really felt like this was a better tactic in the long run. So I would recommend dark coats for this event. Let's go back in here. Let's try this one more time. So we're going to go skill 1, skill 2, skill 3, skill 2. And remember, all we're doing with Otaru is debuffing and then pulling him out. We're using that swap anklet on him. Now, I am aware that the dragon does stun. I've worried less about the stuns. I've decided to let the stuns happen. Now, that is kind of another reason that the RNG might be a bit of an issue. So skill 2, skill 3, skill 1, skill 2. It's another reason why the RNG might be a little bit of an issue, because if he stuns us and we don't get our heals, that doesn't feel good. That's another reason we're also running 2 healers, because fingers crossed, maybe, just maybe, one of the healers won't get stunned. That'd be nice. All right, turn 3, we're going to do skill 3, skill 3, skill 2, skill 1. Remember that skill 1 with Artie is what keeps us alive, so pay close attention. All right. This is another reason why I say that Artie is really important to have an MP assist on her, because you're going to be using a lot of her MP, and I mean a lot of her MP. All right. We just got to survive this SA. Everybody just got a free death saving throw, so we're good in that regard. And pretty much wipes out health for everybody. Oh, actually, no, it didn't. Ooh, we had a good one there. I'm still gonna do an SA with Haruhime. I'm gonna do an. I'm gonna go ahead and do Tranquilize one more time. Now, notice Tranquilize is 241 MP. I will have one more opportunity to do that, but getting this SA off with Haruhime is going to give us some big heals, and it's going to keep everybody alive. Plus, having that free death saving throw on the table is going to help out as well. So we're going to do that. So we're going to skill 3, SA, skill 3 now, and skill 1. Hopefully this will actually work. That's why I say, like, don't be ashamed of some of these potential RNG failures. This isn't a perfect system. I'm not bringing you a team that I know is going to, like, trounce this and destroy it, and everybody has to have maximum break units. I want to pay close attention to what our weakest unit is doing and equate that to what we can do going into the rest of this. And yes, it is a very defensive strategy. All right, so Haruhime is not stunned. That's perfect. That's absolutely, like, this is the best possible scenario, I think. All right, so we do skill 3, turn 5, skill 3, skill 3, and I'm going to go back to skill 2, get a little bit of that healing in. Everyone should, once again, have their death saving throw. When to check Welf, he does. Riv is another one that's a little squishy. She does, so we're good to go. If we can survive skill 5 or turn 5, we're going to be absolutely good for the rest of this match. Now, he will do another SA, I think turn 7, I believe. So, but you will see, like, there's a major drop-off. I think he does, like, half the amount of damage, if even that, on that turn. So, at this point, we're just looking forward to getting a double SA with Welf and Riv. So, let's go ahead and work towards that inevitable goal. Now, the main reason I'm using these two is because they're both dragon killers, and they're both going to get crazy damage out of this. So that's another reason to do a double SA. So now on this turn, we're going to go skill 3, skill 3, skill 3, and I'm going to continue with skill 2. And the reason I'm going to do that is to get a little bit of extra healing, because once again, we're not quite in the clear of damage yet, but you know, we're not hurting so bad anymore. We're definitely not too terribly worried about it. All right. So we got a single SA. I'm waiting for a double. All right. Skill 3, skill 3, skill 3, skill 2. Now, at the end of this turn, the dragon is going to do another SA, but like I said, you're going to see the damage drop off on this, and it's pretty drastic. All right. Now, one thing I could do, and one thing I probably should have done a little bit earlier on, and I completely keep forgetting to do this, Riv doesn't have a 33% SA gauge charge, so I probably should have earlier in the fight done that with Welf. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now with Welf and give her that 33% SA gauge charge. Also notice that Haruhime has run out of MP, so we're going to do Sheikah to restore MP. And basically, from this juncture going forward, we're going to do Sheikah, Yosuga, Sheikah, Yosuga, back and forth, just to kind of toggle her MP. She already has this MP like restoration built in, so don't think you need an MP restoration assist on her. And I really feel like if you have the Haruhime that does 20 MP restoration, I don't think that's enough for Artie, though it could be. I don't think it is. I prefer to use the Hestia, but there might be something to using the Haruhime MP restoration unit assist on your team. Just different things you could try. I want to throw all the concepts at you and show you how this works, less build the team for you. I think a lot of people probably don't have the exact team that I've got, especially considering the Magic Riv I don't think too many people acquired, and she happened quite a ways before the anniversary. So if you don't have her, this is another thing to start considering. What teams can you build? Said turn 1, it's all about that big debuff. Turn 2 is all about the basically the type debuff. Are we doing fire? Are we doing water? Are we doing light? Big type debuff on turn 2. Turn 3, we're turtling with Artie, and then basically getting to this point. Turns 4 through, I'd say 7, are all about just keeping our health up. And at this point, now we can focus on damage. So, I'm going to go ahead and do 33% SA gauge charge. I should have done that a lot earlier. I didn't. So, skill 1, skill 2, skill 3, and I'm going to continue doing skill 2 with Artie just to get a little bit more healing out, especially considering Haruhime's not doing her healing on this turn, or at least not doing her main heal attack. Or main heal skill, I should say. Alright. Now you will notice we're doing a good bit of damage, but the dragon does heal. So now that we're on turn 9, he should be a lot more damage than he is. He's got like 12 million health. Yeah, 12 million health at the beginning. He's down to 10 mil. But this is where we're going to start chipping away at him. Okay, turn 10 is going to be a double SA. So we're going to do Yosuga on this turn. I'm going to go ahead and do an attack this time around with Artie. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it up. One turn, Artie's going to heal. The next turn, Haruhime is going to heal. That turn that Artie heals, Haruhime is going to do MP restoration. And on the turn where Haruhime heals, Artie's doing an attack. Hope that makes sense. I'm going to go back to skill 3 here. So we're going to do skill 3, skill 3, skill 3, skill 3. Should make sense. Now, like I said, we're at the point now where I'm not worried about damage. He can't hurt us at this point. Like, there's nothing this thing can do to damage us. He's just out of steam. It's like this thing has no stamina whatsoever. It just comes in strong, hopes it kills you, and now you survived. Now we're just going to start doing some damage. So we're going to do double SA with Riv and with Wealth. I'm going to go and do Sheikah here, and I'm going to do Energize just because... Actually, let's just make sure we're not debuffed. Nope. No damage debuffs there. There is incoming damage debuff, but I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure there's no like physical magic debuffs because I couldn't remember whether that was a thing or not. So SA, skill 2, SA, skill 3. Let's just double check. Yep. And yep. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure there's no action on there that's only one turn because then we'd have to wait one more turn. But I digress. SA, skill 2, SA, skill 2. That's the easiest way to look at it now. Now that we're toggling Artie and Haruhime, they're going to go skill 2, skill 3, skill 2, skill 3, both of them there. They're going to follow suit. It's like they're perfect. It's like they were perfectly made for this situation. It's absolutely kind of hilarious. Now, Wealth probably hit for around 700. I wasn't paying attention. She should hit for like 1.7. They're a really great match in this this effect. 1.69. That's all right. 1.69 million, I should clarify. Now, the combo attacks don't really do much. Yeah, it's going to be like 100,000 or so. Yeah. All right. Dat being dat. See, he's just bluffing at this point. All right, so let's go back to skill 3, skill 3, skill 3, skill 3, and let's build that SA gauge up one more time. All right, notice that now the our health bar, words are hard, isn't even flinching. Like, this is an easy one. Now, I know this is a bit of a longer video. It's a bit of a longer take on this. But, again, pay close attention to Wealth. Notice how well he's doing here. This is to show you could use this tactic to build a team of mostly +3s, maybe even +2s. Considering how, if you have +2s with a really awesome assists, gotta be really careful with Artie. You gotta be really careful with your Artie stack. I've been a little careless of mine there at the beginning, but you could easily do this. Alright. So, skill 3, skill 2, skill 3, skill 2. Makes sense? Let's rebuild this SA stack, and let's do another double SA. And basically, that's what we're doing now. now that we're not really in that range of, oh my god, we could actually get hurt here, we're going to sit here and just try to do a lot of damage over and over again. I'm going to see here. What does our buff look like? We got plenty of turns on our buffs. So I'm actually going to do Sheikah and rebuild. Yeah. See, this is the debuff I was talking about. I thought he did that debuff. So we need to make sure those debuffs are not in play when we're actually doing our essays. If we are, then we got to just basically go out another turn. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're running out. So I'm going to go ahead and do Sheikah and energize again this turn, just to try to build up a little more MP with Haruhime, since we've got a few turns, so we don't have to worry about that. All right. And you notice Welf being our weakest unit, he's just laughing at everything now. Like with our big defensive buffs in play, because we do have a lot of defensive buffs. We've debuffed the dragon. We've got good defensive buffs. We've debuffed the incoming damage. We've done everything we can, and now Welf is sitting pretty. Like, he's got nothing to worry about in his career here at this point. All right. Nothing should be wearing out. I'm going to do Sheikah one more turn. So skill 3, skill 2, skill 3, skill 2. And then after this, we should have a few turns of being able to do Yosuga with Haruhime and doing some damage with Artie. That's just going to wear the dragon out a little bit faster. Now, when we did this on stream, this was like a turn 20 kill, I want to say. And it is pretty important you get that Haruhime's buff off early. There is some tactic to doing Haruhime's buff as part of a triple attack. I haven't quite had the success rate with that, mostly because we need that really early heal on turn 4. So don't be stuck on this idea that you have to, like, if your units are surviving, you have to essay early with Haruhime. Doing a triple essay with Haruhime would help. I just found that on the turn 4, getting that heal off was really, really, really important. So, turn 3, we're going to go back to Yosuga, turn 3, turn 3, turn 3. I'm actually going to go essay, turn 3, essay, turn 3, because I just happened to realize we have a double essay gauge. So, let's see what we do now. Cena hit 7.9. Or, I'm sorry, 790k. Let's do 790k again, dude. Let's do it! Okay, 778. It's close enough. That's like within RNG range. All right, let's get back to that 1.7. Yeah, bear in mind that's 2.4 mil. Not quite 2.4. So 2+ million per turn is going to wear him down very, very quickly. He cannot heal that fast. That's going to be worrisome. This is why I say whatever your best single target attacker is, what's in one of the available, what is it? Fire, water, wind, and light, I think were the ones that are good. If you have a really good attacker in there, especially from one of the new ones, I would recommend using that unit, and then just like I said, turn 2 debuffing whatever that is. That is going to be your best bet, because you really want to make sure that you're getting some really hard hits off at this stage of the game. You need those hard hits. All right, skill 3, skill 3, skill 3, and skill 3. Let's go. I think we've got, what, maybe one more essay, maybe 2 more essays. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, on stream, we did this with this exact same team, killed him in 20 turns. At this juncture, we're taking just chips away at his health, so it could still work out that way. All right, Welf's unfortunately out of power, so that means we're not getting in that extra damage from him, but we still do skill 3, so do base attack, skill 3, skill 3, skill 3. Now, Artie is going to do, she's going to chip away a little bit too. She's not going to hit as good as Welf, obviously, because water, it's just a natural 20% debuff that's on, but it's going to help every little bit. Boom. All right, so we're back. We're out of MP again with Haruhime. So we're going to go base, skill 2, skill 3, skill 2. Remember, we still need to make sure we have that heal. There is a possibility you might be able to do it without the heal. I just, for safety's sake, like to keep it on there. It might chip away at his health a little bit better. You can kind of gamble with that. For the sake of the video, I don't really want to do that. Actually, no, we could. And we got a double SA this turn. Let's make sure we're not debuffed. We are debuffed, so we're going to wait one more turn to do a double SA. Is Welf debuffed? He is not. So I'm going to go ahead and do... Might as well. Base, skill 3, skill 3, skill 3. Let's go. Alright, please do not debuff Riv again. We want those debuffs gone this turn. Alright. Turn 20. This was the deciding turn on... And I actually think this... Funny enough, I think this is the final SA too. This was the deciding turn when it came to the stream. So let's see if we can beat it once again on this turn. Alright. So, double SA with Welf. I'll do Sheikah with Haruhime. I feel a little more comfortable doing the other one, but that's fine. We'll do Energize for the heal. And then, let's see. Nah, he's dead. Doesn't matter. He's dead. Double SA, so we'll do SA. Skill 2. SA, Skill 3. Because what the heck? If we don't, kill him with the SAs, which we're going to. I mean, we hit for 2.4 million, and he's got less than 2 million health left. So, he dead. Unless, we have some crazy RNG failure here, Riv is going to kill him. What you got, girl? Boom. Perfect. Couldn't have asked for better. So there you go. That's how to beat it. And once again, I will say, don't get too caught up in the fact that all my units are maximum broken. Pay close attention to what Welf was doing, it being +3 and being only 3-star ascended. Pay close attention to what he was doing throughout the fight, and you will find that any unit that is about on that level, I mean, he's got, 4k HP, that's the main thing. 4k HP, 743 defense. So that is going to be a good litmus test for a unit that can survive. Though to be fair, like I said, if you can turtle a little bit longer, if you have this Hestia that does 80 MP max limit broken, she'd be great to throw on Artie, and you could literally just keep those death saving throws in play over and over and over again. And once again, Welf is not a needed unit on here. You can use Lena, you can use anybody else. I just chose this because it was my fire units. It's the fastest way. But the main thing is we were doing SA gauge charge. We were doing a lot of heals. We were doing the death saving throws with RD. And then we debuffed on turn 2 with our main unit here. Did a big debuff on turn 1 with Otarl, and brought in our best hitter with our best assist. It's that simple. You could easily do this without a maximum broken unit here. You don't need maximum breaks here because that's a sack. Same with Otarl's slot. Artie and Haruhime, the higher levels they are, the better they are. But once again, by turn, I'd say 6, it's going to be comfortable even if they're +3. So, and notice Artie isn't even max ascended. So, there you go. Go play with us, guys. Let me know what kind of success you saw down there. If you're not using a fire team, let me know what team you are using and what kind of success you've seen. So hopefully this helps you get past this. It is 50 Iris, I believe, for winning this. I will come back and talk about Stage 2. I haven't quite found the team to build for this, but I've got a really good team, and I'm reverse engineering it to try to find a team that can kind of work like this. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments section. I'll catch you guys on the next one.